Jip here with On the Chain. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're coming in from. We've got another phenomenal show for you tonight. At least I do. Flying solo once again, starting to become a thing over here. And we got a lot of things to jump into. So, are you guys ready? First of all, why don't we just go? I think we're going to go a little bit old school today. We're going to go old school with the original open. Brace yourselves. It's a little on the long side. Be back on the see you on the other side. Guys, ready for this? Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain with Jeff and Chip.
Yeah, a little bit old school with that opening. Jim D says, weird hat, bro. That's an awesome hat, man. That's like the got that one at the Ripple House, man. Popcorn, get the popcorn, paper chaser. What's going on? Guys, drop the city, the country where you guys are coming in from. Like to see where everybody's coming in from. Even on the rewatch, Jeff and I look at every single comment. Bar none. Good ones, the bad ones, but we like to see where people are coming in from. Yeah, we can look through the Google stats, but who cares? That's not fun. That's not that much fun anyway. I'll say that. And so I teased a little bit about this on the thumbnail, that XRP, the big crypto secret. And what is that big crypto secret? Come on in. Come on in, my OTC family. We are going to find out exactly what that is. And just know that you are one of the elites. You are one of the special people who's in the know. That's what I can tell you right now. Hat was great, just sitting a little low. Well, that's the whole point of it, man. That's the whole fun part of it, is sitting a little bit low. That's the fun part of it. Look at what we have right there. Boom. Got UK, Lazy Lab Rat. What's going on? And if you guys want more XRP, Ripple, SEC related content, blockchain, what's going on with new projects, we've got a really great interview coming up Wednesday night. We got Wild Stag Treehouse in here, two of the co-founders in here, a really cool project on the XRPL. Going to have them in here. Going to be talking on Wednesday. I'd like to bring you guys good interviews. Look at this. We have Cine Mini is here from Germany. What's up? It's kind of late there, or I should say early morning. Look at this. We've got Sir John is from Zagreb, Croatia. What's going on? We got Chicago, Jogla in the house. I hope I said that right. Joygia. That's it. Joygia. What am I saying? Well, there's no L in there. What am I doing? Sorry about that, Joygia. From Chi-Town, gotta like that too. What's going on? Crypto Filter. Yeah, everybody's coming in here. We got NYC in the house. Check that out. Harlem Stuntman, NYC, one of my favorite places on earth. What's going on, Legendary? How are you doing, man? Good to see you guys coming on in here today. Ontario, yeah, I grew up right across the lake from Ontario. I grew up just outside of Niagara Falls, New York. That's right. I'm a New Yorker. New York's a big state. You know, we're all New Yorkers. There's New York, and then there's New York, the state, and that's pretty much where I went. Look, we got Sydney in the house there with Andrew Smith. Alabama, what's going on, Sean? Good to see you guys in here as well. South Lake Beach, they're my Florida people. That's my Florida man right there. That's very easy hydroponics. Alan, very easy. UK waiting for rain. Man, we had a monsoon here today. My wife's like, you always hear the rain, but it was like blowing sideways. And I look out in my backyard. I look through the pool, because you can always look in the pool and really see the rain hitting it, and you see just it was just incredibly crazy over there. So we got a lot to get through today. We're going to get there. Aloha. What's going on, Randy? Aloha from Hawaii. What is going on? Seattle in the house. Another great city. At the fish market down there. Of course, the original Starbucks. I'm a big Starbucks fan. I know Jeff's like, I don't like Starbucks, but I do, and there's a couple of things that I like over there. But anyway, listen, guys, let's get this thing going. Western Australia in the house as well. So it's great seeing everybody coming in from all over the place, even Alberta. Look at that. Everywhere. At Atlanta, Jose. Beautiful. Long Island's in the house. Long Island in the house. Mitchell Batts, what's up? So let's go through this. I wanted to jump into this because it's kind of an interesting type of a story. The ones we see. Then we've got some other stuff that we need to get through. We need to kind of talk through some of these things here and get through them. But, I'd like to just get everything kind of started on a good note as people continue to pop in here. What's up? Pickering, Ontario. I don't know where that is. That's interesting. I usually know Ontario pretty well. What's Manhattan, Kansas? Oh, is there a Manhattan in Kansas? Wait a minute. What's going on, Justin? Manhattan, Kansas. Is that really true? Is there? I know Manhattan in New York, but maybe I know there's a lot of other cities. They're not just like based out of there. But what we're going to do is we're going to get into a couple different things tonight. And I wanted to do this because really the global adoption's on the rise. We got some pretty cool stats here tonight, so we'll share some stats with you guys. But let's check this article out here. This is pretty interesting just because it kind of goes hand in hand. So this right here, this is the top 10 most Googled questions about cryptocurrency and its implication. Okay, so these are the top 10 Google searches that uncover an increase among curiosity among general investors, represented by 2 whys, 3 whats, and 5 hows. You guys get that? Did you write that down? Do you have your pens handy? You doing that? You typing it in? 2 whys, 3 whats, and 5 hows. In case you're counting along at home, that's exactly what we have here. So let's just kind of like pop down here and see what's going on. So, what do people end up searching on Google? Provides raw insights into the real mindset, often revealing their interest, fear, and range of other emotions about a particular topic. Now, I would expect seasoned pros like you guys, people that come in, part of the OTC family. Let's face it, this is probably more along the line of newbies, but, these are the top ones. So we're going to jump into it. So here are the top 10. So first of all, what is cryptocurrency? Yeah, I kind of expected that one. What is crypto? Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, isn't it? Isn't what is cryptocurrency? I guess 2 of the same flavors. How to invest in crypto. Let's go through here. So how to invest. Number 4 was what's crypto mining. 5 is how to buy cryptocurrency. 6, everybody wants to know this one. Why is crypto crashing? Well, because it's a bear market right now. That's why. How does cryptocurrency work? But you have to see that these are really important. This is really important in a lot of different ways, because the fact that people are Googling this, the fact that people are wanting to know what's going on is a really positive, occurrence. And especially when you look into a couple of these other ones, like, why is crypto down? So people are wondering why is the market down? What is crypto? So you can see there's an overall tone here. How to create a cryptocurrency. Am I sensing a rug pull here? Let's see. How do I get rich quick? How do I make a lot of jack? How do I make some Benjamins? How do I get in and out of this marketplace? That's how you do it. And how finally do you trade cryptocurrency? Anyway, I thought I'd share that one with you just because it's a little bit of fun. It's a little bit of fun right there. Who else? What else we have going in here? Alchemist is in the house. Good to see you. I don't think Alchemist has ever missed a show. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think so, man. He's always in here nonstop all the time. Then I wanted to get into this one here. This is the, I just love the heading in this one here. This one is the sheriff of Cryptoville draws his pistol. And we know who that sheriff is. That's right. That's Daddy G, none other than Gary, the sheriff of Cryptoville, self-anointed. He's the guy that supposedly, but it's a funny title. It says the SEC chief has gone from rhetoric to enforcement, targeting token projects from the past, present and past. Crypto companies are shook. So there it is right there. And it goes on to say, when Gary Gensler was sworn in as the SEC chair in April last year, many in the crypto community celebrated. We don't really celebrating here, but there were some people saying, oh, yeah, yay, this is fantastic. Because he taught a course called Blockchain and Money at MIT in 2018. So obviously, he must be friendly to crypto. And then I like this one sentence paragraph. They aren't celebrating now, right? As cautioned in multiple segments on Yahoo Finance last summer, teaching one class did not necessarily mean he was a fan of crypto. Now, after 16 months on the job, I think it's safe to conclude that indeed he is not a fan. It's somewhat puzzling now to watch him talk animatedly about how blockchain could be a catalyst for change in the financial sector in his introductory lecture to the class in 2018. And the eyes of the crypto industry began as a wild card, became a figure of concern, and now he's a proud villain. I don't know if he's a proud villain. I do know that he's a villain. Yeah, that's what I would say right there. And XRP Moon says SEC's been under so much heat by Congress, judges, and the public. Yeah, there's been some good op-eds coming out as well on that. Oh boy, look at this. Patrick Terminus says he paid 1,000 XRP to pistol whip Daddy G. Man, that's guys, relax. It's okay. Look, it's so aggressive. And Alchemist says Gary Gensler hates the air we breathe. Yeah, pretty much. He's just the enforcer. You know, he's basically revving up with this pistol. And the Mike Novogratz speaking on stage at Masari Mainnet last September said that Gensler wants to be the sheriff of Cryptoville. Now the sheriff has the guns drawn. Already spent the past year making it very clear his rhetoric and views are pretty much all tokens other than Bitcoin. But let's say it's like, you know, when you asked Daddy G, it's like, listen, so tell us which ones, just mention to give us a hint here. Which ones aren't securities? We'll wait. He's like, I'm not going to get into specifics. Well, it's kind of what we've been waiting for. You will tell us Bitcoin is not a security, but what about everything else? This is what's really pathetic and ridiculous. And now his rhetoric's turning to enforcement. Last month, the SEC fingered 9 tokens listed on Coinbase as securities, reportedly launched an investigative probe into the company. Last week, it sued blockchain platform Dragon Chain for $16.5 million initial coin offering back in 2017. Yeah, well, good for paying attention. You know, it's only 5 years later. Welcome to the club, right? I mean, why not? I mean, there's been other ICOs. I can think of a couple. ETH comes to mind. Pseudo ICO, not a typical ICO the way we know it. But yeah, and as far as spot Bitcoin ETFs goes, publicly traded investment vehicle that would let regular investors buy Bitcoin over the stock market. Don't hold your breath. After SEC allowed a Bitcoin futures ETF last October, there was some hope that the first stop on the road would be allowing a spot ETF. 10 months later, it has approved a handful of additional future ETFs, but no spot ETF. And this is just bewildering on so many levels. But, you know, this is, you know, Daddy G is a wild card. I mean, what could you possibly expect? What could you possibly expect? Sanimini says, it's so obvious. Don't understand why no one intervenes. But, you know, there's a new day coming. Tom Emmer said this. He said, there is a new day coming, sir, is what he said in one of his, and there is a new day coming because guess what? People, you know, a lot of people, we've been accused, Jeff and I, like, you guys don't endorse, you know, people signing petitions and this, and that. The reason I don't is like, it makes you feel good. It's like, yeah, I put my name on a petition. You know what? If you really want to get involved, go back somebody, and I don't care what party they're in, just go back somebody that's pro crypto, somebody that's interested in really understanding how the U.S. could position itself, right? In your home country, same thing. You can sign petitions all day long. Of course, you don't have this problem, but we have over here. But let's suppose you did. But just back people, you know, go back people that are at least fighting for crypto or regulation, or fighting for your home country to just grow and just have this brand new asset class lift up your economies. I mean, that's what we're all at here. That's pretty much, look at this, XRP, 33 cents, LFG, you guys know what that means. Let's effing go is what that means right there. And look at this right here. We got Matt. It says, Gare Bear, not a fan. The SEC shouldn't be doing any regulation in the space. Leave us alone. I couldn't agree more. This is really left to the CFTC. The CFTC doesn't even bother anybody. You know why? Because they know better. I mean, they absolutely know better. And are they going after crypto projects? No, because they're commodities. They understand they're not securities. But not Daddy G. Oh no, Daddy G's all bent out of shape. He's got to be the one out there crying and complaining and everything else. But so this one right here, this one I'm going to go. I might just go a little rant here on this one, because I see stuff like this and then my blood starts boiling, because it's just so ridiculous that the positioning, the idea behind it. When governments, I mean, if it's kind of like, when you were back in school, and there's always a kid that said, the dog ate his homework, this happened, I spilled paint all over it, it got sucked into a shredder, all kinds of weird stuff. And you're like, man, at least think of a better excuse. That's the first thing you'll say to yourself. Come up with a better excuse, because that's ridiculous. You'd laugh because it wasn't you. It's always fun when someone else is getting in trouble. But this is what's going on with the governments and central banks, okay? Not to confuse them, not to confuse the regular banks. I'm talking about the central banks that have all these outlandish excuses for why the train's gone off the tracks. And this is one of the latest ones right here. This one is featured in Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge, fantastic, one of my favorite must-sees. There's always all kinds of great stuff in this, but look at this right here. So the European Central Bank chief blames climate change for red-hot inflation. You see what they did there? Red-hot inflation, climate change, okay? And so this was offered by Catabella Roberts, originally in the Epoch Times. So the chief of the European Central Bank, the ECB, said that climate change is behind the soaring inflation, and stating that a drought and famines are driving up prices. That's weird. What droughts and what famines are driving up the prices? You know what's driving up the prices? It's not droughts and famines, okay? This is how out of touch. So Christine Lagarde, who before she became the chief of the European Central Bank, she was at the IMF, and she was a little bit more pro on crypto. She moved over to a central bank, and they gave her a tap on the shoulder like, hey, calm down the crypto rhetoric. Let's not get too crazy about this whole stuff. So this stuff just drives me insane. So she made the comments in an interview with a French outlet called Madame Figaro on July 13th. And here's an English translation of the interview, was published on August 25th. Lagarde said that more climate disasters could see prices rise further. If more climate disasters, droughts, and famines occur throughout the world, there will be repercussion on prices, insurance premiums, and the financial sector. We need to take that into account. Yeah, we do, but let's just take this into account. That's not the reason all the stuff's going insane. And it's probably like the worst take that I've ever heard. Yes, there's always going to be famines. There's always going to be droughts. There's always going to be disasters of some kind. Here in Florida, we have hurricanes. Hurricane season, yeah, we get hit with hurricanes. If you're in California, it's earthquakes, right? There's always some kind of natural disaster. If you're in the Midwest in the U.S., you've got the threat of tornadoes. And if you're in other countries, yeah, you have other things that are going on, natural disasters. This stuff is happening. But somebody point me to where this is a problem that's causing the widespread, and here in the U.S., we heard it was Russia. Russia's causing all this. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Before March, that was, we had, gas, petrol, whatever you want to call it, was rising ridiculously. It was $1.75 about 2 years ago, and now it went up to $5 plus, and it's coming down artificially. But do you really think that has anything to do with this other stuff? So her comments come as inflation soared across Europe, and households have to fork out more for food and energy. Meanwhile, price increases continue to outpace the average wage. The average rate of wage increases. So the European Union continues to push for this agenda, while simultaneously trying to reduce its dependence on Russian gas in the wake of its invasion of Ukraine, and And as a result, gas prices have drastically risen in the EU. Here's another fun fact: the U.S. was energy independent. That's right. We didn't import oil from anywhere else. We had a pipeline. We were just doing it ourselves until somebody said, no, you can't do that anymore. Why? It just happens. Let's put it that way. But I look at this stuff and I say, this is just embarrassing on multiple levels. I still buy my groceries at the supermarket, pay my bills, including my gas bills, and meet people at the market. And my life here at the European Central Bank can be a little removed, disconnected a little, punctuated with the economic models and projections. I move forward with a sense of duty and humility. Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah, this is just, I don't even want to get into the comments there, but that's from Christine Lagarde. That's her hitting it pretty hard. And you know what? Let me just put this up right here, because this about sums it up right here. We the people, that's right, we the people here, we've pretty much had it. We've had enough. We've had it up to here with the nonsense, with the overprinting, with the you had one job. You had one job here. The central bank in the US, the Federal Reserve, had one job. You know what their job is to keep people employed and keep inflation under control. Both of those are absolutely off the rails. And I love this. We've had enough. Okay. Enough said. This is how pathetic and ridiculous it's getting. I had to just go on a little bit of a rant there. John Deaton was on, and sometimes, we're not streaming as much. And sometimes he's out at odd times, and we want to talk about it here on the chain. So I'd love to pull this up. I'd love to pull up that video and kind of like just break it down, because I thought it was one of John's really best appearances. And I say best only because it was succinct, and also too, it was a little bit longer than a lot of some of his other let me go grab this file. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, and some of his other appearances, because sometimes it's like, so John, tell us what's going on in the case. Well, thanks for letting me be here. It's really great. It's like, oh, can you wrap it up? We're out of time already. And that's kind of how a lot of these go. And it gets a little bit silly, right? So let's go here. And let's kind of watch through this. This is, I forgot how long it is, but if you guys didn't see this, if you did see it, we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it, because I think this is just absolutely fantastic. If you need to get that popcorn, get the corn, get back here. Let's go ahead. Let's mini workshop this, and let's get through this together. Let's go.
The Twitter shares are 0.5% higher right now after a Delaware judge rejected many of Elon Musk's demands directed at Twitter. He's trying to buy the company. He's trying to avoid buying the company for $44 billion. But Twitter's saying, no, please buy us like you said you would. According to this court filing, the judge.
Okay. What is she talking about? He's trying to avoid buying them? That's not even what's going on. This is getting crazy. What is going on with this stuff? Sorry, guys. I didn't realize we had a little bit of a beginning part we needed to clip, but let's just continue playing this.
Called his demands absurdly broad. However, the judge did order that Twitter turn over some data sought by Musk, including data from 9,000 accounts used in an audit last year. Those accounts were suspected to be
video here?
fraud,
what is going on?
or bots, if you will. So Twitter shares up on this news.
Oh, here we go.
Wall Street's top cop, Gary Gensler, penning an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal last week, defending what some are calling his aggressive approach to regulating the cryptocurrency industry.
Wait, what some are calling? Everybody's calling this. There's like there's an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal and everywhere else, like every other day now. It's like some are calling, and I know it's obviously mainstream media, and they have to kind of like, well, some people are saying this and some people are alleging that. Pretty much everybody is.
Firing back in a Fox Business op-ed, lawyer John Deaton, who's representing more than 70,000 XRP investors in a class action lawsuit against the SEC. John Deaton joins me now with Charlie Gasparino, who's been closely following the SEC's ongoing lawsuit with the crypto company Ripple. Charlie, what you got?
I don't have a lot. He has it. She said 75. She said 75,000, and then she corrected to 70. Yeah. Is it 75,000?
72,500.
You're right. Almost the first time. So
we'll settle in the middle.
So you represent the XRP holders.
I do.
You're not carrying any water for Ripple.
Absolutely not.
This is your case that you believe that the XRP shareholders have been like collateral damage, roadkill. So.
See, but this is really good for Charlie Gasparino to say this. You're not carrying water for Ripple. He's like, absolutely not. Meaning that he's not representing Ripple in any way. He's representing anybody who's an XRP holder, 75,000 of us. And we know it's a lot more than that. But that's really good for Gasparino to get that cleared.
To speak, and that's I think the point that you made pretty well in the column, comparing them to the oranges in the Hawley case. Now we will not get into that because that will take the entire show and the Howie case is what determines if the.
I liked it better when he called it Holy, but that's good. Holy, it's all right. It's all good.
The SEC has the authority to go after you because you didn't file like they're saying Ripple and XRP did, right? You're saying that, you're stretching the boundaries. Last I heard, and I think the last time you were on the show, the SEC was trying to get you thrown off the case. They don't like you. So where does that sit?
Yes. Well, thank you for having me, Lauren. Thank you for meeting you. Good to meet you. Listen, 72,500 people from over 142 countries around the world have joined together. These are the people that Gary Gensler swore to protect. And instead of talking to us and reaching out to us, he filed a motion, his SEC lawyers filed a motion to revoke our standing in court, which means revoke our amicus status, and personally had me thrown off the court, out of the case. Well, the judge ignored their silly request. Basically, I'm still allowed to participate. But you want to know who Gary Gensler does have time for? He's met Vanguard 7 times since being SEC chair. Why is that relevant? Because Vanguard manages 90% of his 120 million fortune.
Whoa, look at that. See, this is what I love about John Deaton. Didn't have time to meet with the guy that's representing the XRP holders. Oh, no. Trying to get Deaton thrown off the case. Who does he have time to meet with? That's right, Vanguard. Multiple times. Why? Because they manage his personal fortune. I love how he threw that in there.
So he can meet them, but not us. Who's he protecting?
It's a good quote. We tried to get him on. By the way, before he issued the op-ed to the Wall Street Journal, we were asked him to do the op-ed. I guess he said, "Screw you," and I'll just do it under the Wall Street Journal. Be that as it may, but we'll give you the floor. Why doesn't he have standing to do what he's doing? He claims that all these things are sold, so they're securities, and once it's a rotten piece of fruit, it does extend to the people that holds them. And you know, if XRP is a security because of the way Ripple issued it to finance its platform, just like you would issue a stock or a bond, they did not register with the SEC that XRP is in circulation illegally, allegedly, and then you pick it up and 72,000 people pick it up, but you're holding an illegal security. Why is that? What's wrong with that analysis? Because that's what I think he's saying. Because
in the Howey case you referred, they said that the sales contract and the service contract and the scheme is the investment contract. That's the security, not the underlying asset. The oranges or the land tract, orange groves.
Which Howey was about selling orange groves, right? And whether that instituted a contract.
The oranges weren't never the securities. The underlying asset is not. XRP is digital code. That's all it is, an alphanumeric code. It's software.
So what you're essentially saying is Ripple is guilty, not the XRP holders. Or Ripple could be guilty.
Well, what I'm saying is that in 76 years, when you look at all the SEC cases coming from the Howey case, there's never been a case where there's been absolutely no privity between the purchaser and the buyer. What I'm saying is SEC, if you can prove the case against Ripple, go at it. Do your job. But when you say that a person who purchased it on Coinbase, who's never heard of the company Ripple, and has no idea who Brad Garlinghouse is, when you're claiming that token 10 years later is an unregistered security with Ripple, now you've stretched that Howey case beyond recognition.
It's like saying all the oranges in the groves that were illegal contracts, the oranges are illegal.
It's like saying a grocer, imagine a grocer is like a
Look, Charlie took a shot at that. He's like, this is what it's like saying, and then Deaton comes in with a really cool analogy here. Just back this up a smidge here.
It's like saying a grocer, imagine a grocer is like a digital exchange, like a Coinbase. When you go in and buy the orange, they're saying you now hold an unregistered security.
Even though the grove that produced the orange may be illegal.
And if that person sold it. So here's the thing to understand. Bitcoin has been used as an unregistered security. Doesn't make Bitcoin an unregistered security. Chinchillas, whiskey, oranges, beavers, all of them have been held. Yes, beavers. Like it's the scheme of how you use it. Condos have been used as any commodity.
I'm getting the wrap here, John, but I want to just real quick fill us in. Where's the case stand? Where's it going?
Well, the thing to know is that Gensler's request to have me thrown off, that's not going anywhere. We're still participating.
Is it going to court?
It's going to court. There's been summary judgment filings that are happening. There's experts that are being challenged. Will it get done by the end of the year? No, it's not going to get done unless there's a settlement. It won't be done.
So we're going to get you back on soon, I guess.
I hope so.
Get you back on soon. That next time we'll give you 50 seconds. 50. Sir John said it was like you get 50 seconds every time.
Till then, John, Charlie, thank you.
First of all, they spent more. Did you guys notice they spent more time talking about Twitter? Twitter might happen. There's a thing, and Elon Musk, and somebody might buy it, and he doesn't want to buy it. And it was like, hey, John Deaton, John, tell us about this. Well, okay, hey, I'm getting the wraps. When they have to wrap it up. He's got a producer in his ear saying, start wrapping it up. So that's why he was talking about gets the wrap signal. And that's basically what is happening right there. See there, IRS media says, I'm Canadian and I love beavers. There you go. There you have it. You see that right there? SEC desperation is comedy. it's kind of comedy. I don't know, man. I'm not really like laughing that much, but it is kind of it is comedic at times. I would say that. And then Jim D says the SEC case is not really going after Howey case law, but after Reeves case law. There you go. Yeah, and I've asserted that, you know, what the whole idea of having, and this is what we had to get John Deaton back on here to talk about this, because yeah, you have cases that which set precedent, you know, in that it's case law and you refer back to, you know, SEC v. so-and-so and this and that. But the whole idea that they developed this whole 4-pronged test that they named the Howey test, and it came out of, you know, this 1946 court case. And where are we? Last time I checked, we're 2022. What does that have to do with digital assets? Pretty much nothing. And, you know, of course, famously, we have Daddy G calling it the 3-prong test. He's forgetting that 4th prong. There are 4 prongs of the test. So yeah, that'll happen from time to time too. But I mean, kind of is what it is. I wanted to throw this up here. Let's throw this on. Let's see this right here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. So I saw Ripple tweet this the other day here. It was like secure blockchain innovation for a sustainable economy, manage the full CBDC lifecycle. And here is a video that I'm going to go ahead and press play on here. Let's watch a little bit of this here. Guys, tell me if you don't hear sound. You should hear it, but let's tell me if you don't. Can I blow this up? I don't know. Can I? Let's see.
Today's global financial system is more complex than ever before. Yet as the world's economies grow, the infrastructure they rely on needs to evolve. Every nation has its own independent monetary policy and regulatory standards, but with varying systems.
Is that really loud for you guys? I mean, it sounds pretty loud for me. It's like blasting in my ears. I don't know. Okay, you hear it. That's good.
Access and legacy technology. The world's financial infrastructure can seem overwhelming. At Ripple, we enable governments and central banks around the world to create new, high-performance financial infrastructures built on blockchain technology. More specifically, we help governments build and launch central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. They are national currencies powered by modern technology that is secure, centralized, and scalable. And these CBDCs will enable central banks to implement their monetary policies in more efficient and effective ways. The Ripple team brings a wealth of expertise to every new CBDC solution, working with hundreds of financial institutions, policymakers, and regulators. Our solutions facilitate billions of dollars in cross-border payments around the globe. Ripple's CBDC solution is based upon one of the most reliable, sustainable, and open-source blockchain protocols, the XRP ledger, XRPL. The XRP ledger technology is perfect for CBDC blockchain applications. It's fast, with transactions complete in 2 to 3 seconds. It's easily customizable and programmable. It's reliable, having closed over 72 million ledgers since 2012. The ledger's native functionality for issuing digital currencies also reduces the need for bespoke programming and reduces risk. Finally, the technology is sustainable as one of the first carbon-neutral blockchains. Each pilot is completely customizable and shaped to the needs of the central bank by an expert team. Here's how it works. Each nation's CBDC is hosted on a private version of the XRP ledger. Access by participants is granted by the administrator and fully secure. Using Ripple's CBDC solution, the central bank has full control over supply, allowing them to increase supply or redeem it. And through a standard API and multiple SDKs, integration into existing systems is simplified and suitable for traditional and non-traditional participants. Additionally, the central bank can issue other assets and allow participants like commercial banks to do so. The central bank can also authorize who holds the currency on the ledger, whether that's held directly by consumers or through commercial banks. Transactions typically settle in seconds compared to days, making CBDCs suitable for use cases like retail point of sale. This can open the door for real-time salary payments and collection of tax at point of sale, which gets funds to an institution or a consumer faster while eliminating debt risks. CBDC data is fully controlled and auditable by a central bank, allowing for its analysis in support of monetary policy. And the data maintains transaction privacy while still allowing for regulators to monitor for criminal activities. Finally, a Ripple-designed CBDC can provide a means to bridge disparate currencies through XRP. Its inherent interoperability can allow for connection with other central bank ledgers for efficient cross-asset and cross-border transactions. This can be done with cross-issuance, using XRP as a bridge currency or via cross-ledger communication protocols. This reduces the risk that institutions are forced to accept when transacting across multiple networks or currencies in the current system. The creation of a CBDC provides powerful benefits for the economy and people of an adopting central bank. It's technology that places trust in digital money in the hands of a central bank that can guarantee accessibility to funds and the resulting services, as is the case with cash today. The result? An improved foundation for global financial development where businesses, commercial banks, and ultimately people can unlock new economic potential. Work with Ripple to build a custom pilot designed for your country or institution today.
And there you have it right there. Boom. There you have it. That's an explainer video. I know a couple of people were talking about privacy. This is my question too. They talked about privacy, yet still being able to track illicit things that are happening. But because they're programmable, I think the technology is great. But I think if it starts getting to the point where you can shut somebody down and turn somebody off, I mean, you can't really do that with fiat. You can't do that at a bank level, and we've seen that happen. But I don't know. But I like the fact that they've got a commercial CBDC out there. And if you wanted to learn more about it, and it didn't make sense to you, I think the video does a pretty good job of explaining what a CBDC is. I mean, for the most part. And I saw this up here. So Jungle Inc. put this up here. You guys all know and love Jungle. It's one of the top XRP streamers up here. And he put this. This little quiz out there, and it said, hey, you have to invest, you have to let one invest your money, and your choices were Jim Cramer, Mark Cuban, 3 Arrows, which is defunct, okay, or Duquan, which is also pretty much defunct. So of course, the choices really come between Mark Cuban and Jim Cramer. Mark Cuban came in at 74%, Cramer at 6%, 3 Arrows Capital came in at 5.7%. And surprisingly enough, Duquan came in at 14%. If you're going to have them invest your money, I don't know if that's pre-disaster or not. And then K1 Rocky came in and said, Jeremy Hogan, his investments return 1 trillion X. That's a pretty substantial return right there. And of course, he tagged Jeremy Hogan in there and said, his investments, 1 trillion. We're looking for 5. We're happy with 10. We're happy with 100X. Jeremy Hogan, 1 trillion X. And of course, he hand wrote in Jeremy Hogan right there. And Jeremy Hogan said, I invested 1 penny 6 months ago. Today I'm retiring. Follow me for investing advice. You gotta love Jeremy Hogan, man. He's funny. That's some good stuff. Jungle Inc. said, are you going to sell some courses so we can get them retirement style gains? And of course, Jeremy Hogan said, guys that sell trading courses always confuse me. If you're such a great trader, why are you selling a $199 trading course, right? That's like a good question. I've always wondered the same thing myself. It's like, why would you focus your energy on that? I mean, I get it. It's another way to earn money, but it's kind of like, yeah, okay. I mean, you're selling these courses and this and that. It's kind of kind of a little bit of a funny thing. Yeah, right there. Here we go. Right here. Paper Chaser says, love Jeremy Hogan. Jeremy Hogan's breaks down those videos. Fantastic. So Earthworth says Mark Cuban pretends to know crypto, but he don't know. He don't know. Okay, well, he doesn't know, but Legendary says, thank you, Legendary, for being a supporter. You see he's got that little symbol in his name. That's because he supports on the chain. Really appreciate that. He says, don't forget to hit those thumbs up. I always do. There's always somebody in the chat reminding me. So that's always good. Let's see what else we have here. We got so much stuff, and do I ever get to it? Probably not. Here is another one that I don't know. Maybe I want to hold off on that one a little bit. Then you got to find the right one. Oh, I just thought this was really worth mentioning here. So remembering Hal Finney, the first Bitcoin recipient on its eighth anniversary of his death. And, you know, some people say, like, you know, is Hal Finney, is he Satoshi Nakamoto? You know, very instrumental in the very beginning of, you know, there he is right there. 8 years ago, the first Bitcoin recipient, Hal Finney, passed away. And I know he was 58 years old. He had Lou Gehrig's disease, which is ALS. And but there he is right there. And yeah, ALS took over Hal Finney in 2009. And just kind of robbed him of his life. But anyway, Hal Finney, you guys can Google him. Very instrumental. And I don't know, it's interesting too. I know that he had some more Bitcoin as well. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't know if he's actually ever sold it or what. Don't know what's going on with that. And I thought we'd take a look at some of the biggest crypto stories in the week ahead. This is put out by theblock.co. And the one specifically that I wanted to get to, so more Tornado Cash fallout updates. We could expect more updates in the Tornado Cash sanctions spectacle. USD Tether issuer Tether released a statement this week saying it won't comply with sanctions and freeze assets in sanction addresses related to Tornado Cash until it's told. Oh boy, hang on a second. Let me get rid of this right here. Until it's told. It claims it hasn't been received any request from authorities to do so and thinks unilaterally freezing secondary market addresses could be highly disruptive and reckless move. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. Celsius is back in court on Thursday. They'll appear in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court, Southern District in New York, which also happens to be another case that's taken place there, which is the Ripple case. They'll be there at September 1st at 10 a.m. to get approval for this process and schedule of auctioning its assets. We're going to have to keep you guys tuned in what's going on there. Company expected to make sales of more assets following its filing for Chapter 11 mid-July. The filing was prompted by market turmoil, induced liquidity issues, and more about Grayscale's conversions with regulators. You know, Grayscale Investments currently on the hook with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for responses to questions about 3 of its cryptocurrency trusts. This was published in a regulatory filing earlier this month, but not spotted until this week, when it was also revealed that the company had been in contact with regulators since at least June. The questions focus on the company's trust with Zcash, Stellar Lumens, and Horizon. So, and there you go right there. There's a couple little stories we got going on there. Here's another interesting little piece right here. So Watcher.Guru, another account that I follow on Twitter. Well, check this out. Here are the top 10 cryptocurrencies in the world by Twitter followers. So this is people that are on Twitter. There's no other metric here measured. This is from August 28, 2022. Interestingly enough, Binance, BNB has 9.36 million. Shockingly, it's ahead of number 2, which is Bitcoin at 5.49 million. Get Shiba Inu here at 3.46 million. Dogecoin with 3.4 million. Ethereum is in 5th place with 2.8 million. Then, of course, there we have XRP with 2.53. We have Crow sitting there. That's the Crypto.com's token at 2.5. Solana at 2.2 million. Pi is at 1.6. And Polygon rounds it out in 10th place at 1.6 million. I don't know. I thought that was somewhat interesting there. It's an interesting little stat there. And I'm looking for stories that we can pop in next. I have a lot of regulatory stuff. Maybe too much. Here's one right here. You guys know the telegraph.co.uk. It's a It's a pretty well-known publication worldwide too. But they put this out. So cash has 5 years left. Warns ATM. Switch to plastic pushes cash use down. Since the pandemic, the chief of the UK's largest ATM network has warned that cash has as little as 5 years left. I'm like, 5 years? Does it have that long? Interesting. Okay. Because let's face it. We're talking about fiat currency. We're not talking about, we're not talking about switching over to CBDCs. We're simply talking about cash or fiat. So it says the cost of providing cash infrastructure, which includes the ATMs, security, and bulk centers, is huge. They spend $5 billion a year, said John Howells. That's the chief executive at Link. Many of these costs are fixed and will not change as consumers move to digital payments. Okay, that makes no sense at all. They're spending $5 billion a year, but that's for the cash infrastructure, which includes all the ATMs and the security. I guess you still have security involved, but that won't change as consumers move to digital. Since the beginning of the pandemic, cash use is down. It's still falling. And the Banking Trade Body estimates that 1 in every 20 transactions will be made using cash by 2030. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments there. Just curious. You guys think it'll take that long? Will it take that long? Red Pill Queen says, what does she say? She says, I'm headed there, Moon Boy. Wait, I had another comment up here by her. Sometimes these comments go by fast. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And then what else did I have? I know I had another one. Okay, so here we go. I never can find the one. No, I don't want to get into that one either. It's always something. But here we go. So this was a poll taken. It turns out that half of Americans investing in crypto say it's done worse than expected. It's done worse than expected. Yeah, no one expects it to tank. I mean, that's, when you go into it, everyone has a hope that it's going to do pretty well. It said about 16% of U.S. adults have invested in, traded in, used cryptocurrency. And if you think about it, 16% is a pretty low number. That's why, I teased that at the very beginning, XRP, the big crypto secret. Why? Because aside from people that are here right now in the OTC family or watching on the rewatch, it's a secret. Nobody knows about it. No one's ever heard of it. It's cool that now we're seeing on Fox Business where John Deaton's going on. We have Charlie Gasparino talking about it a lot. We have Ellie Tarrant talking about it, which is great. But aside from that, people probably I don't know if they know what XRP is. They think it's a stock symbol. I don't know. This is why it's still a huge, it's still the world's best kept secret. You're like, yeah, I've been in it for 3 years, 5 years. Yeah, I've been in it for 10 years. Yeah, and still nobody knows about it. Said half of Americans who invested in cryptocurrency, it's absolutely done worse than what they expected. And 1/3 cite being part of a community that is at least a minor reason for investing. So you think about that, the XRP community, Solana, Doge, you name it. There's a lot of communities out there, whether it's on, if it's on crypto Twitter or if it's on, Insta or let's say TikTok, there's still a lot of communities popping up. Or Facebook, if anyone uses Facebook, but I would imagine it's there too. At least I would think it's probably there. I don't know the stats I was looking for here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here's another op-ed here. We talked about just nobody's happy with Gary Gensler. Nobody is happy. I don't have the whole story here, but let's just read the headline. Another op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street rails against the cost of Chairman Gensler's regulatory agenda at the SEC. Wall Street doesn't like it. Industry targets SEC's economic analysis as it prepares for legal challenges. And it said Wall Street's attempting to derail Securities and Exchange Commission Gensler's agenda by challenging economic assumption and underpinning dozens of policy proposals. Brokerages, hedge funds, private equity firms, mutual funds, high-frequency trading firms, and public companies have all argued in comment letters filed this year that the cost of these proposals would outstrip any benefits. So you see, there's really no one's happy. Outside of crypto, no one's happy with Chair Gensler. Daddy G, not really. He hasn't really participated in that book, How to Win Friends. What is that called? How to Win Friends and versus Enemies. I don't know what that name of that book is. Someone will drop it in there. Also, Bitcoin, it's really on a really bad downturn. It's this is something interesting. Bitcoin risks worst August since 2015. So if it's the worst August since 2015 in 7 years, how there's break. Here's something clever for Septembear. Instead of Septembear, like a bear market. Serious cold feet over the outlook of the monthly timeframes, with September historically a red month. That's interesting too. Not great as we start rounding into the end part, back half of 2022. I know a lot of us are looking forward to 2023. Here's the article I was looking for. Let's break this one down. This is what I was talking about a little bit about crypto adoption heats up. And if you think about it, global crypto adoption exceeds 320 million users, according to a study. And here's the countries leading the charge. And so let's see who you think maybe some of the countries in there that are leading the charge. Let's see if you guys can get the top three. Drop the top three in the chat right now. Who are the top three countries in the whole planet that are leading the charge as far as people and citizens buying the most amount of crypto and adopting it? So what do you guys think here? Let's see we get some answers dropped in here, because there are three specific ones. Number one wasn't a surprise. 2, 3 were kind of a surprise to me, but it does make sense in the global scheme of things. But I'd like to hear what you guys think. Go ahead and drop it in there. What do you got? Anybody got anything? Nobody's dropping anything in the comment. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but drop in what you think the top three countries in the world are as far as crypto adoption. Let's see what you guys got. Drop it in there. Okay. There we go. Sean Thompson says the USA. We got Medella Time says Australia. Got Ronnie says Japan. That's a great one. Sean Thomason says England. We've got Paper Chaser with Singapore. We got Sean Thompson again. Participate. You get the participation start tonight. Germany, because you know you're going to be right in there. Jim D says Ukraine. Very easy. Hydroponics Alan says Japan. Definitely Mexico. Okay, here we go. South Korea. There we go. We got James Esch says South Korea. And where did I see it? Where did I see it? Boom, right there. Kretschy says India. There you go. You got Lucky Larry says Brazil. We got another South Korea and Paper Chaser. So yeah, these are a lot of really strong guesses. These are very good, guys. Thank you for participating. Let's jump into this. Let's see what. So Singapore-based AAA says the firm gathered data from more than a dozen reports and surveys to obtain the most encompassing and accurate set of statistics for their study. According to the firm's research, global crypto ownership rates stood at an average of 4.2%. We also have Nigeria from English to Me entering it. We have the UAE coming in here. We've got Portugal, says Red Pill Queen. What else do we have in here? Any other guesses here? Okay, here's another one. All the BRICS nations. Interesting. Very interesting guess there. Japan, Brazil, China. There we go. I love these guesses, guys. Keep them coming. Argentina says Red Pill Queen. You got Paper Chaser with Africa. There you go. Well, Africa is not really it's kind of a continent, but I guess if we're playing the continent game, is it Africa? We're about to find out. Is it North America? Is it Europe? Is it Asia? Where is it? Somewhere in the middle right there. Even like Monaco on the list right here. Jamaica, says Jeremy Brown. Indonesia's on here. So yeah, we've got a lot of fantastic guesses here. So according to the firm's research, the global rate stood at an average of 4.2% as of the year, translating to more than 320 million digital assets users worldwide. Leading the charge of global crypto adoption, the US. And I think Sean Thompson got that. With 46 million users, followed by, drumroll please, India and Pakistan. I know somebody else got India very early on too. India and Pakistan with 27 million and 26 million users respectively. So we've got, that's interesting. I mean, it's very US 46 million users, India 27 million, Pakistan right up there with 26 million. And then by continent, the study reveals that Asia head of the curve with 130 million crypto users. So you guys were right there too. You also guessed that. I know a lot of time Palau. Oh, there you go. Palau's in there. So yeah, so we also had Asia in there. I know we had Japan, course, we have India, and that makes a lot of sense in there. Africa grabs the second part spot. I know somebody guessed Africa, so good job. Africa grabs the second spot. We're talking about continents with 53 million crypto users, followed by North America's 51 million users. So good stuff. You guys are on top of it. Pretty interesting. Here's a chart right here. We look, you can see there it is, kind of the lay of the land, over 320 million crypto owners worldwide. This is why I said XRP, the big crypto secret, nobody knows about it, but it's going to take you telling your friends, telling your family. It's going to take them telling their friends and family. Because if you think about it, North America, 51 million users. We have South America, 27 million users. Someone said BRICS. We got Brazil as part of that BRICS nation. And also we've got Europe with 43 million, not shabby at all. Africa at 53 million, Asia at 130 million, and Oceania, which includes New Zealand and also Australia, with 1 million. But again, if we're going by population, yeah, there's a big landmass there, but I mean, as far as population is concerned, but kind of an interesting study, I thought. That was pretty interesting to kind of like take a look at that, shake it down, see what's going on there. It was pretty good to see. And just remember, we always have to keep reminding ourselves, you're early. People are like, I know, I've been hearing this for 3 years, Chip. I'm getting sick and tired of hearing it. When moon? I want moon. I want to know when it's going to moon. I want to get to moon. And I get it. I know. We all want it. We all want this Ripple case to be done. We all want to see a raging, phenomenally hockey stick, bull market happening. And look, it's cycles. It's going to happen. We're going to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. Yeah, right there. Sir John says 53 million combined with 2 billion people. But you're right. It's going to take a little bit of time before we actually get there. But when we do get there, excitement. And that's why I said that, sometimes as much as the adoption we hear, it's still early days. It's not like the internet. 10 years into the internet, really started around 1995. By 2005 was off to the races. Was a little bit different positioning, and also too, it brought a lot more people in, and it was much further ahead in that 10 years. But it has the opportunity to change so much, especially we're talking about all the different projects that are out there solving problems. We're going to get there. We're always going to look for tokens. At least we always like to preach, up to you what you spend your money on, but tokens that are solving problems that actually have utility. That's something you always want to look for. Always probably the best bet. So anyway, that's pretty much all I have. Like I said, we've got a really great interview coming up. Got two of the co-founders coming in here from Wild Stag Treehouse, built on the XRPL, a very cool project. We're going to break it down on Wednesday. I want you guys all to come back and kind of just come in, ask some questions. That's why we do it live, because we love to have your feedback. We'd love to see what you guys are thinking about a project, and bring the hard questions. Jeff and I will go ahead, and we have our questions, but we like to see what you guys are thinking too. So we want to hear what's on your mind. So bring your questions, and we guys will see you on Wednesday night. From Jeff and I, Chip, I am out of here. Chip is out. See you guys on the next one. Take care.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.